Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Today I got a subscriber requested video where people asked me to give suggestions and tips on traveling with children, especially younger children. So it's been a while since I've had a younger children, but I do travel with my grandchildren every once in a while, so I do know a little bit about it. But yeah, let's get into traveling with kids right after this. Right off the bat, if you're traveling with kids, the very first thing you should be doing is checking out the kids clubs that are on that cruise that you're going with, and even just the cruise line, because that can make or break your cruise, your vacation, your whole holiday. Having a horrible kids club and having to occupy the kids the whole time yourselves can really put a strain on a relaxing cruise where you always feel like you're the entertainer as opposed to being entertained. All that being said is, of course, they all come in a variety of different types. Some cruise lines are very simple. A couple desks, a little ball pit, and some puzzles for the kids to do with a PlayStation and an Xbox in each corner. That's it. And then you go to the other extreme and you have cruise ships like Disney that have Star Wars and Marvel and all the princesses on board, and they all visit the kids clubs, and the kids clubs are built like Andy's toy room, and they're just absolutely amazing. And then of course there's different degrees all the way in between, so really investigate the kids clubs because that is so important when you travel with kids on a cruise. The second thing you might want to consider is don't worry so much about having to go to the main dining room. Take advantage of the buffets. Buffets on some cruise ships are like Princess Cruise Lines are fantastic, and it really frees you up with when to eat, when the kids are hungry, the variety of food they can eat. There's nothing worse than waiting for 30 minutes for your meal with kids who are impatient at your dinner table. And it's even worse for people traveling around you who don't have kids and are listening to your kids whine and complain, and you don't want to hear that neither. But going to the buffet, it's easy, the food is there, the kids get to feel like they're involved in dinner and supper and lunches, that they can pick what they want to eat. And what the heck, just let them try whatever they want, because if they don't like it, there's more food they can go and get. So don't say, you're not going to like that. Just let them choose. Go and eat, but take advantage of the buffets on the cruise. A lot of people like to take their kids to the theater shows, and depending on the type of theater, it could be geared more towards adults, but not necessarily. You're not allowed to bring kids. So if you're allowed to bring kids, what I would say is try to avoid the first couple rows of the theater, because a lot of things happen in those rows and multiple cruise lines where there'll be big explosions and fog from the smoke machines, as well as the music is much louder down there right close to the stage. And the kids, you got to think that you're sitting there and you're looking up like this quite a bit, which is, well, now picture it, if you're a kid down here, how much higher that looks. So yeah, avoid the first couple rows so your kids can see better and they're not going to get scared and start crying or get fog all in their eyes and their face. Those things can be very annoying, and then you end up having to leave the theater and scooch out in front of a whole bunch of people while the performance is going. It's better off just to avoid sitting at the front. And also, if you would, try and keep closer to the edges, so if you have to take your kids to the bathroom or you have to leave for any reason, you don't have to go through 40 people to get to the exit. You're already close to the edge as well. Number 4 would have to be keep the shore excursions as short as possible. There's nothing worse than traveling with kids where there's a 3.5-hour bus ride to your destination. You stay at the destination like an hour and a half, like you're visiting the ruins in Mexico or something along those lines and then a 3-hour ride back, that will drive kids absolutely crazy. And if you do multiple shore excursions like that, you will regret taking long shore excursions. The best shore excursions you can do with kids are something that you know that they're going to also have fun at, like beach excursions or animal trips, swimming, things along those lines, and that it's very quick to get to from the port. A quick 10-15 minute shuttle ride. Those are the best trips to do with your kids. Most parents know this, but if you're not used to traveling with your kids in vehicles of any kind, so you've decided to go on a shore excursion, you've decided that you're going to take this one and there is a little bit of a bus ride or there is a shuttle or it's a bus tour, then you want to make sure that you pack some things to keep your kids entertained. If they can, play games on the phone without it being on roaming, so that's great. Even, little hand games that, the Nintendo Game Boy is great for that kind of thing. Something to keep the kids amused. Drawings, if they have their own little camera that they can take their own pictures with. Anything to keep them busy while you're doing the transportation to those sites is very, very handy. And I always used to have a whole backpack full of things, including snacks and treats. And my kids knew that if they were well behaved, their favorite snacks were in my backpack. And also they got to do something a little extra when we got back to the ship. It does make a difference. It's not really bribing them. It's stuff you would probably give them anyway, but they don't have to know that. Number 6 is don't try and keep a strict schedule. I see so many parents who are used to planning things and organizing things to a huge degree, and it's not easy to do when you have young kids that want to go at their own pace. So learn to cut back, learn to relax. Go with the flow. It's so much more enjoyable to, oh, we're hungry now? Let's go eat now. Oh, no, we're not eating till 6 o'clock tonight. That's it. No, and then right after that, we're heading over there because I want to see this in the show. And you guys, wouldn't it be better to, let them eat now where you're not rushing from the dining to the theater afterwards? And just be more flexible. Kids are kids. They're going to want to have fun, and the more fun you let them have, the better they're going to sleep at night, and the tireder they're going to be. So you get a much better rest at night as well. So cut back, don't be too firm on your schedules, and just try and go with the flow of what your kids like, and you'll have a much more relaxing cruise. Number 7 has to be when you're looking at the kids clubs, well, you better check out what's on the ship as well. So if you have very young children, say the ages of, let's say 5 and 6 years old, well, you're going to want to have a wading pool area where they can go, maybe some smaller slides, some fountains that they can run through. You're going to want to have entertainment on the ship, maybe a real mini putt, not just a putting green, so the kids can do these sort of things. Even great if they have like the roller skating rinks and bumper cars and things like that. The more things to keep your kids occupied on the ship, the better off they are. But at a bare minimum, if you're going to the Caribbean, and you're going with young kids, you might want to have some water slides and some places for them to cool off, and not just an adult pool in the middle with no slides and no kids area. The kids are going to get bored really quickly, and you're going to find it not a lot of fun trying to entertain kids with not a lot of things geared towards kids on the ship. So make sure you check your ship out ahead of time. Number 8 is know the room that you're booking. So many people don't really understand when you're booking for more than 2 people. They're set up in certain ways. So if you're booking for 3 and 4 people, chances are you're going to have to take your queen bed that you were hoping for, and now it's going to be 2 twin beds, and also you're going to have a pull down on top. There are some designs where instead of the 2 pull downs that come down and basically are over your head as you're trying to sleep, and they block the balcony on the way out, so you can't get out the balcony as well if they're down, or you can look for a cabin that might have the couch, and the couch is a pull-out couch that you can sleep on, which is a lot easier, and usually there's a curtain between the bed that you're sleeping in. You can also keep it in the queen configuration, and then the couch, and there's a curtain that you can draw between the two, so you have a little bit of separation there where the kids can feel like they have some privacy and you can feel like you have a little bit of privacy, even though it's only like 8 feet between each other. It's still better than the pull downs, unless that's, you know, what you're going for. You're looking for the most inexpensive way to cruise with your family, then it's going to be those pull downs, obviously. But know that that's what you're getting into. It can be a very tight squeeze for 4 people, no matter the size, in a single stateroom. Number 9, don't be afraid to stay on the ship. You don't have to do shore excursions, especially if you happen to be on a ship that has a lot of things to do and a lot of entertainment. Why spend $100 a person for 4 of you to go to a beach when you can just lounge by the pool, let the kids play on the slides on the ship? And the ship will be more than 3/4 empty because everyone's on the shore excursion, so you feel like you have the whole place to yourself. It really is something that a lot of families are taking more and more advantage of. If there's something you want to see, book that excursion, but you don't have to book something for every single port. Feel free to stay on the ship and just enjoy the atmosphere when there's not a lot of people around and you have the whole ships to yourself. Number 10 is try and make something that's common and everyday, simple, seem like an event. So for instance, I brought a young child on a cruise with a Princess Cruise Line because it just happened to be the only cruise we could go on at the time with her parents. And what we did is, there's not a lot for the kids that were there, but they happened to be playing a cartoon kids movie at one of the movies under the star nights. So all the way there we kept on talking about, we're going to see this movie and it's going to be fantastic, you know, it's something she wants to see and it's something she can do. So it built up the anticipation that she had, that there was something on the ship that was really going to be enjoyable for her. And then Movies Under the Stars came, and we got blankets, and we were out watching the movie, and we got her favorite drink and a big box of popcorn, and we brought some snacks that we had bought, and she just had the best time ever. She thought this whole night seemed to be focused for only her, and she got to see one of her favorite movies, and it made the cruise for her. Long after the cruise, that's what she talked about, was that night. And you can do this for almost anything. You know, if if your kid likes to climb and things like that, maybe if you're on a ship with a rock climbing wall, plan that event and then build it up as something special just for them. And that way they have a reason to anticipate going on this cruise and something that they're looking forward to do, not what mom and dad are planning for them, something that they really would like to do. And if they can actually choose that event, all the better. So there you go. There's just some hints and tips that I remember from traveling with kids that you should know, especially the kids club, and making sure your room is the right kind of room for you. If you don't want pull downs like bunk beds and you want to sleep in a queen bed, well, you might have to look at a different category and see if that's in your budget to do. And then plan around it. Don't be afraid to stay on a ship. Book ships with lots to do with the kids. There are cruise lines out there that are fantastic cruise lines, amazing cruise lines. But if I'm a 6-year-old kid, I'm probably not excited to sail on Celebrity, Cunard, cruise lines like that are and even Princess. I really am probably not excited about it. There's no water slides, there's no characters. Even Royal has characters and parades on their ships and things like that. So make sure, until the kids are at that age where they appreciate the older shore excursions and the older things to do, then look for ships geared more towards them than geared towards you. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.